Mark, why don't you give us your patented recap of this issue?
We open with some disorienting images of Spider-Man and J. Jonah Jameson. Don't look down, a voice says, and of course, Spider-Man is looking down. Pan up, and we get the wackiest inversion of the Amazing Fantasy number 15 cover yet. Jonah in Doc Ock's harness, carrying Spider-Man to safety. Jonah brings Spidey back to some safe place, but all Spider-Man wants to know is, where does Otto have his best friend in the universe, Norman Osborn? In fact, Otto has Norman strapped in with one of his patented mind-reading helmets, and we're going back in time to about 9 years ago when Norman Osborn was the master of the skies, Mason Banks, and Otto was the superior Spider-Man. A story that is so universally beloved now, no one remembers how the internet had a meltdown back then either. And it's only because of whatever is happening now is really, really bad, right?
Actually bad this time. It's what people are saying.
Oh, actually bad. Exactly. Okay, so it turns out that the helmet is showing Norman Otto's memories of him. Otto still doesn't know what happened to all of his memories. Something supernatural, he bets. If by supernatural he means it happened in a B-book that upwards of 11,000 people read the conclusion of. He's right on that fact, right, Dan? Anyway, Otto wants Norman to admit that he's been shamed. So Norman does admit it. I have been shamed, though not with much feeling. But that's good enough for Otto Octavius. Back to Spider-Man and Jonah is still showing just how super close he is to those octopus arms. The arms seem quite keen on connecting to Peter, and even show off the spinal interface, which sounds like an early 80s punk band. Elsewhere, a woman is hanging upside down, and it turns out she's not a criminal, but a dog walker. What kind of spider creature would do something so ridiculous? It can't be Ben Reilly or Kane, since Marvel really doesn't have a place for them anymore as part of the Spider-Man universe, right? But wait! Back from his world tour of being a one-joke wonder, Wreck Rap is here to save the day, complete with an editorial note from Nick Lowe that says the quiet part out loud about the fact that there's really no purpose or direction here, but they just think Wreck Rap is cool and they want to keep using them. Just as we predicted, Dan. Anyway, back to Norman and Otto. And Otto is still trying to get Norman to talk, and Norman is all like, I'll talk. I just have nothing really compelling to say anymore because my sins were cleansed with the bang bang magic shotgun. Obviously, a mind as great as Otto thinks this is patently ridiculous, and of course he has ways of making people talk. We're now back to Peter and Jonah, and Peter relents to joining with the octopus arms, and he immediately gets a sensation that he misses this? And did Peter get his mind wiped at the end of Superior too, Dan? What's happening here?
Well, here's where I push up the brow of my glasses with one finger very slowly and clear my throat and say, well, actually, Mark, Peter didn't get his mind wiped at the end of Superior. What I suspect is happening here is that this is the memories of the arms of Peter, but not the Peter we know now, because the Peter we know now is a memory restoration from the ghost Peter that occupied the body of Peter when Otto is there and was deleted and suddenly undeleted magically at the end of Superior. We'll leave complaints about that aside. The Peter that knew these arms was the one that died inside of Dr. Octopus's body. Now, I'm not really sure of the details about this. Did Spider-Man, Superior Spider-Man, recover his arms from the dead Otto Octavius? It seems like that must have been the case. Whatever the case, I think these arms remember Peter's mind from inside of Otto Octavius's body during the Dying Wish arc. Am I making any sense, Mark?
I mean, I don't think you're making sense, but I also don't think you're wrong from your description. So, you know, all of the sins that you made not knowing about the annual crossover in our intro, you have been absolved. Bang, bang, magic shotgun, Dan. You're free.
I'll take it.
Genie, you're free.
I'll take you are nonsense, but correct. Like that's about as good as I'm going to get.
All right. And what comic is not nonsense but correct? Anyway, so may I continue, Dan, or do you have any more?
Please,
well, actually,
please continue.
Okay.
I will interrupt you if I feel the need to correct you again.
Thank you very much. Okay, so Otto is still having his way with Norman, and after Osborn once again says he doesn't have a master plan to reveal, Otto says, okay, well, it's revenge time. Meanwhile, Peter is working with Otto's tools. It presents a pretty badass redesign of the Spider-Man octopus thing. It's not quite the Iron Spider, but, I think cooler, frankly. And meanwhile, there's a shirtless Norman Osborn who awaits his ultimate fate from Otto, which appears to be an injection of his old friend, the Goblin Serum. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I'm here to inject you with serum again. I don't know, Dan, but that's my recap. Why don't we get to the review?